What up, YouTube? Still waiting on the engine. Got no engine on my stand here. But what I do have is something to do in the meantime. I got a manual master cylinder. This is a 15/16 bore master cylinder. This little kit. And the clevis, I think it's adjustable. We'll get into that. Some brake lines, fittings. So this car's had this power brake booster in it about 5 years. I had it new, or I bought the brake booster new with the master cylinder and the proportioning valve. And I got disc brakes on the back, and I could just never get these brakes to work right. To be honest with you, it really hasn't been an issue. But it kind of is in the back of my mind. If I do have to get slowed down quick in a hurry, you know, it's not the best. This brake booster, I don't even run vacuum to it or just leave this. I just leave this off. And the brakes felt the same. So obviously something's wrong with the booster. Let's see. You can see my brake pedal there. That's how much. I mean, it stiffens up. There's probably a little more to go to the floor, but it's probably more brake travel than I should have. So we're gonna try that master cylinder. We're gonna go manual brakes. See if it makes a difference. Alright, well, first thing I wanted to do is take the pedal out and look at what the pedal ratio is, because I've changed it. I don't remember which one is factory. But look how bad these welds are. Definitely gotten better at that. I guess this is from quite a while back. But looking at the clevis there, it fits perfectly in this hole. So I gotta do the math. I think it's 6-to-1 or 7-to-1. And then put this in the right hole. So I'm gonna figure that out. Get back to y'all. Alright, so I worked on it a little bit last night. I don't remember where I left off. I took the master cylinder off and the booster off. That booster's a pain in the butt, by the way. With the nuts being hidden in there, you had to do like 1/8 of a turn at a time. And then I had to remove the lower section of the dash here and drop the steering column down so that I could get the whole brake pedal assembly bracket out. So the assembly goes through the firewall and then it sandwiches in between the steering column and there's brackets on both sides. So I got this bracket sitting on the toolbox over here, and I got these from manualbrakes.com, and they got the instructions. And kind of just following them as I go. So far so good. But yeah, I gotta remove these top 2 studs because we're going to be using a Mopar master cylinder. So remove these studs, change it for the hardware they got. So I'm not really sure how it's gonna go yet because it's quite a bit off. Mopar is a lot narrower. But looking into this pedal deal, this pedal from here to here is 11 and a quarter or 11 and a half. I don't remember exactly. But from the factory, this is where the bracket goes that hits the brake switch. So you take that bracket out, and this is your new pivot point. This is factory pivot point. This is some garbage I did, but this is the factory pivot point. This is where it wants you to go now. So that'll make it about a 6 to 4 to 1 or 6.4 to 1. So when you use this hole, we're gonna clean up these holes, and then we'll have to make a new bracket that'll hit the brake light switch. Yeah, that's where we're at. So for these top bolts, it goes like this. So that's where it bolts up to the steering column above it, and then this just pushes into the firewall. That's where the pedal goes through. But I'm cutting I promise it's not as deep as it looks, but I don't know why it doesn't want to focus. Using a cutoff wheel, just kind of grinding them welds down. See, I already got this one out. And then, if you look, the bolts diameter is smaller than that hole, so I'm having better luck hitting it side to side over just trying to hit it straight down. So I'm gonna get these knocked out. So far, we got both these studs out. This one was a pain in the butt. The welds didn't want to let go. So I may have to, I don't know, weld it up a little bit, then drill it back out. We'll see. And then I got this monstrosity off the middle that I had made. So this is our new pivot point where the brake switch went. So sorry. Whenever I get this figured out, I'll show you. It's not supposed to be the brake pedal that's hitting this. The brake pedal is probably going to stop right here or so. So we're going to have to make a bracket off of one of these holes that'll push on that for the brake lights. So I'm opting to keep the bottom bolts. I'm just going to reuse these. I took this push rod apart. You'll see it says up. This is the push rod. You want to leave the spacer and the washer on this side of that. So when you install it, like so, you can't come out of there. It has to stay aligned. And then it's adjustable with the pedal. See, the pedal is going to end up being forward. So I'm going to stick this on here now that it lines up and kind of mock up how everything's going to go with the push rod. The master cylinder bolted on. And then I'm going to work on a bracket for this. And I'll make a video of that. We'll paint it, everything. Then put it back in the car. And they'll have to remake brake lines. Check it out. The brake switch will go right here and it'll touch. But that's the throw on it. Looking pretty good. All painted up. It's not show quality, but it's way better than it was. Now I'll show you how I toss this back in the car. Alright, I'm in here. Let's see. I'm upside down with a roll cage. I'm gonna have to have help to tighten up that nut. That's the master cylinder nut. And then the other one, I try to put it on. I push the bolt out. But there's the bracket installed. And let's see, it goes up under where the steering column's held up. And the brake pedal mounts through that hole where my finger's at. So I'm gonna need a second person to hold outside so I can tighten those nuts up. And then I can put the pedal back in there and basically set it up how it was set up on the table. And then out here, it'll be something like this, except see where those two factory studs are? Still coming through the holes. That's where this bracket's gonna go. So then I'm gonna have to take all the lines off this the proportioning valve and rerun them. This is gonna be way up in there now. Not too shabby. I'll have to clean up the wiring. Well, that bracket I did have to go down there would not fit. So we made this one. I cut the lower piece off and then cut it off. Look, the welds look decent. Either way, this will work. This is gonna go like so. Oh, it gets sandwiched in there, so you can't see it. Fits the contour, so it can't even spin. I'll bolt it down, and then the prop valve will go right underneath the brake pedal or the master cylinder, just like that. And I see that wire right there. I'll make a grommet for that. And then I have to clean all this up. This used to all be hidden by that other big brake booster. But that'll look good. Bolt this up. Hopefully I can reuse this rear brake line. Hopefully I can reuse the front right brake line. I'll have to remake this one, the front left, and then the two that come off the top of the prop valve to here. Alright, it's been like 2 weeks of working on this. First thing here, with this master cylinder, this is the front and this is the back. You know, factory GM, this is the front and this is the back. So I flip these two. I got, let's figure this out so before I forget. Don't need to be that far. I got the brake lines on. I changed the calipers here. Change the caliper here. And then back here in the back, I had a lot of issues. Got new rotors, new pads. For these rotors, I had the stack out. See, this is a Speedway kit, a 4 9-inch to a metric caliper kit. And the first time I did this, you know, the rotor, they didn't make a rotor that fit over this hub and fit the 1/2-inch stud. So I just found one at AutoZone that fit, and it was 10 3/4 diameter, and it's supposed to have 11 1/4 diameter. So This one actually reaches the tops of the pads. Whereas, I'll go get the brake pads in a minute. The other one was only using half the brake pad. And then when you use the right rotor, because they make them now. Well, I mean, I could have got it machined, but they make them off the website now for aftermarket axles. Then I had to add a bunch of stack here to get the calipers to line up, because the kit is meant for like a 2.3 to a 2.7 axle offset, and my offset is just under 2 inches. And you know, if I were to take this axle out and I had enough spline engagement, I could push the bearing one way or another to make the axle flange come out more. Then I wouldn't have to run these spacers, and I could run less spacer here. So that may be something I do in the future, but it's been non-stop problems with this doing the brakes. So we're just gonna run it like this for now. May go back to that at some point and take the axles out, because I'd hate to pull the axles out and figure out there's not enough engagement to move the bearing like I want. But this is the same way. Sweet. On the brake pedal, see, here's about nothing. Then it's got pressure right there, and that's pretty tight. So tight. Obviously, I can't drive it yet, but I did get my motor, engine, whatever you want to call it, rods, pistons, crank. So yeah, I'll make a video on that. Oh yeah. These are the rotors it did have. Let's see. I had to order all new brackets because you can also see where it was gauging more on one side than the other. It's because I had cut those brackets, but now it's right. Well, it would be right if I move the bearing on the axle. It'd be right, but this is way better than I had it before. And that's just the first time I did this was about 6 years ago, and apparently I know more now than I did then. But yeah, I'm gonna end off this video rambling. Next video, we're gonna build that. I'm not missing very much to have that back in the car. Maybe get a few more passes this season.